Well, Ron, thank you very much. Totally appreciate you spending some time with us and having this show. It's
pleased of you that you came.
Oh, I wouldn't miss it. Wouldn't miss it at all, man. Wouldn't miss it at all. I think it's a very interesting show, and what I like about it is this circle, this full circle,
yes.
And you have one of the things right there at the beginning, which in itself is a full circle, obviously, because it's so what's it like for you to you began this journey 70 years ago, and you're
even a little before that, but
yeah.
Yes, it is I've been blessed with good health all my life, and that's been important. Not everyone has such a thing to fall back on.
For sure.
A lot of time has gone by.
Yeah, 70 years. But in between, you've still been creating, you've still been painting, you've still been making stuff.
Yes, very much so.
So where does that drive? I mean, that's 70 years, maybe like you say 80 years of creativity.
Yes, it is.
Constantly putting stuff out. Where does that come from?
It just came naturally to me. I must say I had asthma when I was young, starting school, and I had to spend 2 days at home, and then I go one day, and then I couldn't go again for another couple of days.
Oh, really?
It was just that debilitating. But and that's those times I spent at home, I painted just to have something to do. And it's always been an interest to me to create and even model things during those years.
At what point did you go from the sort of, when it comes to like the abstract, moving from your figurative or realistic painting that you would have been just drawing as a kid and as a young man into the full abstract? What was that switch for you?
Well, it was when in the early, around 20 years old, I went to Hans Hofmann School at the suggestion of Alexander Luke, who also was going to go there, and there were 3 artists went in her car, and she spent 2 weeks of the summer in Provincetown, and I stayed the whole summer, 3.5 months, and the fact that you can create with just color was you innately know that in a way when you're doing realistic paintings. You find this out, and to not need the fact you're looking at a scene. You don't have to, someone who looked at the scene saying, oh yeah, that's that spot. That has nothing to do with it. That you can create a feeling that came over you when you were sitting in front of that scene and recording it with color only.
Yeah.
And it's just a different feel using color, which a lot of the old masters innately knew, and a lot of people that didn't know they liked abstract found out they did, and simply by Hans Hofmann in North America particularly was very well known and very successful at getting his ideas, just that idea across, and in the States particularly, he was revered as the person to have known in those early days.
So you were a pioneer, we'll say in terms of Canadian abstract, North American, probably even global abstraction. When you returned, however, and this is going to lead me from where you began to where we are now, 70 years later.
Yes.
Always curious, you've lived in Oshawa, you've worked in Oshawa, you've created in Oshawa.
Yes.
How difficult has it been for you as a pioneer of this style of art that is now, one of the major touchstones in art history?
Yes, it's
to have been here. How difficult was it for you being here?
It's I had to make a living, of course, like everyone has to, and so I went into commercial art, which is advertising and all that business world that you have to get to know and fit yourself into that picture. And but I still painted on the side with no. I learned very early that you cannot make a living at selling abstract art.
Yeah.
It only took about half a year to find that out.
That's the problem with being an old punk rocker, man. When you start doing things that are different and outside the sphere, it's very difficult to turn it commercial. But over time, it became sort of commercially viable for other people.
Well, that's true. Yeah.
And at that point, you didn't ever feel like jumping back into it?
Well, not until I met Lawrence. And he encouraged me to do just what you suggested.
Yeah. What about now? What do you think the conditions in the city of Oshawa or Durham region are for somebody who wants to be a professional artist? Do you think it's changed over since your 70 years of being here?
It has, and abstract, that field has evolved in its own way, just within its own boundary.
Yeah.
And new artists come along and think of something, an offshoot from that original concept, which is quite legitimate. But you're painting something that you hope people will be so enthralled with that they'll buy it. And that's still a problem. And it changes from one decade to another, even in its short span of influence.
So if, aside from the show here at Adelaide House, is there other places people can see your work? Are you in any other
Well, I
galleries?
have
Are you
been
in
in
collections?
several shows in Toronto on Queen Street
Yeah.
over the years, and not long, but there were individual shows of just my work. And since knowing Lawrence, I sort of settled on a particular way of way of doing what I call abstract. And up till then, I had quite a non-restrictive approach to it, and quite often entirely different. But I seem to have settled on this style as being what I can do repeatedly now. As after 70 years of it, it has settled down to that. Yes, and a lot of people now can look at for the first time, look at my work and say, "Oh yeah, that is like Ronald," you know. So, and up till now, it's not been that.
So you feel as if you've finally, after 90 years, 80 years, 70 years, you found your voice?
Yes.
And you're like, this is now the Lambert style, for want of a better word.
Exactly so. You described it very well.
Yeah.
I've simplified things a lot in my mind, and the simpler you can make it, it's harder to do in a simple way, but it's better.
Well, I think there are many, many artists in this town, many creative folks in this town still, that it's a struggle, and I think, Ron, that you are an inspiration to all of us, that if we just keep on keeping on, that eventually the world will catch up with us. So
that's right.
I appreciate your time.
Appreciate you coming.
Yeah,
It's
thank you,
nice to speak
Yeah.
with you.